Hey guys, I'm Nate and welcome to episode 5 of Inform. Today we're going to be talking about dementia, VR and robots. Let's get started. A team from Northwestern University and Lund University in Sweden have discovered a small sac in a fly's antenna which is responsible for determining humidity. This humidity receptor is very important for many insects. Because insects are very small, they can dehydrate very quickly. Not only that, but finding water is essential for many insects in the sense of breeding. The team is very excited about this discovery because they are hoping that potentially with some gene therapy, they might be able to tamper with the effectiveness of this small humidity receptor. In doing so, they might be able to cap populations of particular insects like mosquitoes, and with capping the population, decrease the spread of disease such as malaria or Zika virus. Our second story comes from America. A pilot program is going to be taking part in the next year or so with General Motors Co. and Lyft using unmanned electric cars to get their customers to desired locations. The partnership aims at cutting carbon emissions by allowing Lyft to use an electric car that has a 200-mile range that has been leased to them by General Motors Co. The location for the pilot program hasn't yet been disclosed, but with a $500 million investment from General Motors Co. and a prototype app in the works from Lyft at the moment, we can assume that it is going to be released very soon. I'm definitely all for the cutting of carbon emissions with global warming being quite the crisis at the moment, but I don't know how I feel about getting in the back of a cab when there's no one in the front. Our third story is on an unmanned robotic doctor who has successfully been able to perform a simple portion of a surgery while doctors just stood in the room and watched. It was a trial by fire for some of the surgeons as they were competing against the robot to see who was better at stitching the intestinal tract of pigs. Unfortunately for some of the doctors, the robot actually performed better in some of the trials. The tech isn't going to be used to replace the doctor, simply as a device to increase the chances of having a successful surgery, so they would have to work together. They think that the mech's precision might be a little bit better than a potentially shaky doctor's hand. Don't worry, the robots can only perform one part of the surgery, so an actual human doctor would have to be present to complete the rest of it. Would you let a robotic doctor perform on you? Leave your answer in the comment section below. A virtual reality has been put together at Stanford University's Virtual Human Interactive Lab that allows people to experience the effects of climate change on coral reefs. The Crystal Reef properly utilizes two very important aspects of VR, complete 360 immersion as well as a first-person gaming experience. There are currently two versions of the VR game. One of them is passive, where you simply follow a marine biologist around, and the other one is more interactive, where the players actually become the researchers having to collect samples from the reef. Researchers hope that they will be able to increase the concern and the awareness of the general population by allowing them to experience the effects of climate change firsthand. They're hoping to be able to use this as an educational device, potentially in schools, museums, and aquariums in the not too distant future. In our next story, researchers have successfully been able to keep an embryo alive outside of the human body for 13 days. The previous record for keeping an embryo alive outside of the human body was 9 days. The main issue of this development is international regulations say that an embryo can only be kept and tested outside of the human body for 14 days. Scientists say that this isn't for any real ethical reason, but more of a standard to hold scientists accountable. Prolonging the life of the embryo outside of the human body has provided scientists with an array of additional information, especially around the stages of implantation in the uterine wall. Researchers are hoping that this technology will allow the increase of the success rate of in vitro fertilization, with the current implantation success sitting at about 25%. And our final story, guys, I have talked about this on my Facebook page, but I thought I would definitely share it with you also. An app has been designed by scientists to assist them in dementia research. The main issue about dementia is that there hasn't been a standard that has been generated or an age bracket or culture that has been identified to have a higher occurrence of dementia. The game is called Sea Hero Quest. It is about a father and son duo who search the seas looking for different sea creatures. Unfortunately, the father loses his memories and you alone must continue the job as well as try to find pages of his journal to recover his memories. The game is based on basic navigational skills, and it has been identified already that in dementia patients, navigational skills is one of the first abilities that they lose. By playing the game and allowing for scientists to anonymously collect the data of your gameplay, scientists are hoping that they will be eventually able to determine a standard for dementia. When you play the game, they ask for your age, your gender, as well as what country you reside in. If 100,000 people play this game for approximately 2 minutes, that is equivalent to 50 years of dementia research. At the moment of recording this video, the app's download is currently sitting at about 17,000 on Google Play. Alright guys, that's it for episode 5 of Inform. I hope you've enjoyed some of the articles we've been talking about today. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you do have any questions about some of the things that I've been talking about, you can chuck them in the comments section below. If not, I'll be providing links to all the articles I have discussed in the description below. As usual guys, thanks for watching.